sorry.
Would everyone bow for prayer, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just come to you and we thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the rain. We need it. Thank you for it. We pray for all of us here. We pray that you would just protect us, keep us safe, be with our town, watch over it and guide it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I will open this public hearing on the grant for the fire station. I will read the guidelines for this public hearing comments. The Town Council of Centerville, Indiana will engage and receive public comments at a public hearing on June 13, 2023 regarding a proposed fire station number 1 renovation grant. Persons attending the hearing may address the council on the proposed renovation grant for the fire station number 1 or any other matter during the public comment portion of the hearing. The Town Council will accept public comments by those attending the hearing for a maximum of 30 minutes. Each speaker will have an opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes. Those giving public comments shall limit remarks to 3 minutes. However, the maximum time for comments may be extended within reason, so everyone who wants to speak will have an equal opportunity. Those giving public comments should sign in and approach the microphone once the chair recognizes the speaker. Persons giving public comment should please state the person's name, address before giving a comment. Please be aware that the Town Council is not required to respond to public comments during this hearing and will not be answering questions during the comment period. With that, I will open up. Would anyone like to give a public comment?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I'll start, if you don't mind. Everybody in this room has heard a lot of information up to this project. Yeah. My name is Jack Bodker. I live at 504 Poplar Street here in Centerville, Indiana. Along with that information, I have proudly been involved with this project and many others, and anything that serves the public, such as the fire department does, and a safety for all of us, and life has no price. This addition will surely help our department, surely help our town. We have discussed the reasons and the ways it'll do. I just had to say I'm really proud to be part of this system, and that I just ask not only for everybody in this room but in this community to support this project, and I just pray to God that we get it this round. Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak?
Dennis, this is your baby. I know you see that. Oh, sweet.
You're starting vacation today. Come on.
I'm already on vacation. Got out of town yet, so. Dennis Spears, 504 or 310 West School, or let's try this again. Dennis Spears, 310 West Sycamore. I changed the houses by once more. Fire Chief. This project. We were looking at the station the other night, me and 3 or 4 other guys, and the proposal for the training room will double the size of the training room we have now, which will allow us to do even more training or easily get more people in. We do a lot of state classes, and now the state's requiring that we open it up to everyone in the area instead of just do department trainings. So that will make life a whole lot easier to have room for everybody to get into the meeting and get the trainings and that kind of stuff. The addition of the extra bay, that with the renovations will allow us to get at least 1 and maybe 2 more trucks in, depending on what type truck we're looking at. So If we're looking at the aerial truck, obviously it's big enough that it's going to take up 2 bays. So, but, and so, like I said, the building's not had any major renovations since 1980. We have repaired the roof because it was leaking so bad that we couldn't do anything else. So we got that done here about 4 or 5 years ago. But we still, we got the heat in this year. And again, we need to expand the area to have training and meetings and that kind of stuff. We open it up to a lot of other agencies. Reed Hospital does their monthly trainings for their EMS at our station. So that's about what I got.
Anyone else? I would like to say, I'm Dan Wondersey, I live at 407 West School Street, and president of the town council. And we had, during the COVID and stuff, we had to actually open up the fire station and hold our council meetings in there because obviously you can see in this room that we did not have enough room in order to accommodate and be 6 feet apart. So that was one thing. What we had to do was actually wind up moving the trucks out of the bay, and then
take his toy.
Setting them outside. It fell apart. But with that left them sitting outside, and we had to do that. And then if we have any bad disasters or whatever where we have to take people there, there was really no room in there to put them in those bays and so forth with people that may be on oxygen or so forth if we had a power outage. So we really need this larger training room. Also, because our trucks pretty much are diesel, we do not have the air system in there to collect the exhaust, and so when they fire those up, they have to open up all the doors and stuff before they do that, and it still leaves a little lingering of the fumes. And so with this, we get this air filtration system in there too. Also, we do now have a lot of lady firefighters that on ours, and we don't really have an adequate facility for them to change their clothes whenever they come back from a fire run, take a shower, and so forth. And they've had to kind of switch off with the men, and so getting that for them would be also a big plus for our fire station. So, anyone else?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to say also that I hope we never have to use it as a fallout shelter, but that would be a great asset to those who need it if something does happen. Or hope us up that it don't, but what a great place that we could have that everybody could use as their place to go for refuge. I sure hope we get it. That's all I have.
Anyone else?
I'll speak. Josh Tudor, 511 Walnut Court here in Centerville. I've said it most of these meetings, but for everybody that's listening, understand that this building will cost us money. Our job is to hopefully benefit the community and spend your money wisely. The repairs and the upgrades that are not just needed but required are going to cost money. And without this, we could be spending close to that money just to come into compliance rather than benefiting. So we hope to spend your money wisely and spend our money wisely as a community. And I think this is one of the best ways to do it, is to apply for these grants and hopefully take care of the needs and the wants.
Anybody else?
Anybody want to speak?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something. As the grant administrator for the project, when we met with Oprah the other day, one of the main things that they said we didn't get the grant the first time was because we lacked residential support, residential letters. Just they want to hear. Well, I mean, we had a real good application on the fire department side. I mean, the need's there. We documented that. I mean, they understand the need is there. But with these grant funds, they look to how this is going to help all the residents in the community. So if you know anyone that would be willing to write a letter, I know you know the fire department's important to your community, and we just saw that with the fire in Richmond, how important the fire department is. If anybody out there knows of anyone who would be willing to write a letter, if they could send it to Dan or give it to the clerk treasurer's office, we'd really appreciate it, because that's the main thing right now that we really need more than anything. So if some of the lady fire department members would write something too as to their concerns or problems they're having, I think that they would like to hear from them as well. So,
Okay.
thank you.
We need those relatively quick because this application has to go in. So if you would do that for us, we would really appreciate it if we could get them sometime this week, for sure.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Jack Boddicker again. I heard originally when we went out the first time, and I know there's a lot of scuttlebug, and that's all it is a scuttlebug. This project is funding money that we already have that's available through grants and what we're matching to it. This is not going to cost you any more in your monthly bills. This is not going to hit a taxpayer. And the scuttlebug originally was how can we afford this, and it's going to cost me more, and it's going to be more in my bills. That's nothing but false information. This is not going to cost you any more in your monthly bills. This is going to actually somewhere down the road, again, just like I opened up with, be life-saving. This is going to support life-saving systems in this town. Don't hesitate to support it. We need everything we can get. Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, then I make a motion that we close this public hearing on the fire station grant. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Josh. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate.
Aye.
Josh Tudor.
Aye.
Jack Bonneker.
Aye.
Gary Holbert.
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried, and it is 7:14. With that, I will open the Centerville Town Council meeting for June 13th, 2023. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate. Josh Tudor.
Here.
Jack Bonneker.
Here.
Gary Holbert.
Here.
Dan Wondersen.
Here. Next item we have is the minutes for May 9th, and that was the council meeting on May the 9th. Has everyone gone over those minutes? Are there any additions or corrections? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes from May 9th, 2023.
So
I have a motion by Josh. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Jack. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate.
Aye.
Josh Tudor.
aye.
Gary Holbert.
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item is the work session on May 30th, 2023, the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to those? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes from May 30th, 2023.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Gary. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by David. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item we have is the approval of the claims. Has anyone got any questions, comments on the claims? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept the claims.
Motion so made.
I got a motion by Jack. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by David. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item we have is the approval of the billing adjustment. That is for $490.51. I would entertain a motion to accept the billing adjustment.
So moved.
I have a motion by Gary. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Josh. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item we have is the allowance report. I would entertain a motion to accept the allowance report.
So
So moved.
I have Josh
Josh. Second by Gary.
and a second by Gary. Will you call the roll?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Motion carried. Next item we have Main Street. Railroad. You want to give the status on the Wayne County Emergency Management?
Well, as you know, the clock's ticking on our after-hours utility calls. Each of you should have a copy of a ComNet proposal. I was trying to gather some information from the EMA director and how many calls they receive. And the answer I was given was that our non-emergent police calls go through the sheriff's department's number, and there's no way that they can track what calls actually come from here. So trying to figure out a plan to go with is going to be kind of hit and miss for a few months if we decide to go with this. You review it, and you want to move forward with it, or let it lay, because I believe July 1st was our end date with this.
And do we know about the setup on this as far as if they, we approve this, is that just something they will collect the phone number from and
They will collect the phone numbers we give them for each department and call orders.
so it'd be kind of right away?
Once all the paperwork's done and everything's set up, there will be a little time in getting everything set up and up and running. Our biggest problem is going to be trying to figure out how many minutes we actually need a month. And we can adjust that from month to month till we get settled in. And they're giving us the option, if somebody goes on vacation, we can call them, take them off from this date to this date, use this number, and then revert back to it.
So we're looking at a minimum of $60 a month.
A minimum, yes.
And could be upwards into $400 or $500 on a bad month.
I'm guessing around $300 on a bad month.
And that's month by month, right? Depending on what we get and where we're at.
Well, you're paying the monthly fee for whatever plan you choose to go with.
Oh,
And
okay.
then if you go over, it's so much a minute after.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, see, if you go with, you'll pay that no matter what.
I really don't see where we have much choice here.
Well, we don't, at this point. That's, it's just,
All the communities I've talked to, all but one are using this company. They find it to be very reliable, very respectful to callers.
I would, really suggest right now that if we went with the 100 minutes and see how that takes us in that first month, since we can change that, that,
Even at that, it, this month, another 200 minutes at $1.06 to make the 300, so I don't see that people are gonna be calling, talking that long about that many call-ins, but, I mean, the 110, I think, like you said, probably the best.
and what we can do, if we can gauge that and then go from there, because since we can change it. Because we do need to have this in place by July the 1st.
What about any other options? Do other people use these other options that you know about?
The different communities are using different options.
But that's above and beyond what we already have anyways right now, because the only thing we got right now is call and dispatch, right?
Yeah. I would like to go with the web access for the call scheduling, which is under $5.
That's a month. And keep in mind, this is for after hours and weekends, holidays, obviously.
Just by my quick math, I don't think you lose either way you look at this until you get up in the higher amounts without doing some math, but $1.07 a minute is what it would charge you extra. You're being charged $5 more than 50 minutes at that rate. $5 more for 110. So if you do the 50 and go over 50, it's still less money than doing the 100. Just saying, with the way that math works out. So I think any of them we start with would be fine.
Yeah, and, what I'm looking at, calls are down in the summer months unless we have a major storm rolling through. The winter months, they are a little more frequent. But by dispatch not being able to give me the number of calls and the times, we're just kind of shooting in the dark right now.
I guess what I'm saying is I think when you really look at it, whether you do 50 or 300, you're going to be in the ballpark of the same money spent if you do 300 versus the 50. You'll save a little bit at 300, but finding that happy medium in the middle, I don't think it's not like you're going to lose $100 a month by testing it.
Well, I'd be surprised if we did 50 calls a month.
Well, it's just 50 minutes on the phone. So I guess the question would be, how long is your average call to their service?
A minute. Because I call in on my voicemail, it's usually a minute or less.
Less than long-winded, like somebody we all
There
know.
is some people.
Some will go.
Are their calls answered by a person 24/7?
Yes, their calls are answered by a person 24/7.
So reasonable to say if they're leaving you a voicemail in a minute, it may be 2 or 3. Like I said, we've got to do it. I would suggest that I think everybody else is agreeing with either the 50 or 100 and see where we're at. I would start with the 50 and pay the $1.07.
You make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
What about the web access?
If it's beneficial to the employees, then yes. Is that the only one
Include
you're
that in
looking
the
for there? Yes. So my official motion will be to go ahead and move forward with the 50 agent minute monthly, as well as the web access for the additional $5 a month.
Okay, got a motion by Jack. Josh, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, now I got it, Jack. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert, Dan Wonderson.
Aye.
I give up.
No, we just,
How'd I get pulled into this?
You got beavers.
Motion carried.
I will get in contact and get small.
Come on, Jess.
Can we have you sign the contract before June 1st?
You want to amend your motion?
I'm in the
We'll
motion.
just do another one.
Kevin to sign.
Yeah, what's easiest?
Just do another motion.
All right, I'll make a motion that we allow Kevin to sign the contract.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Jack. Will you call the roll, please?
I'm scared of that.
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wonderson.
Aye. Motion carried. Code enforcement.
Yes, sir.
You want administration fees for repeat offenders?
Yeah, we talked about it last month and didn't take any action on it. You wanted to think about it, so.
We're waiting on some paper, some stuff from legal.
Okay.
So we'll move that on to the work session. Centerville Methodist Church.
Do I have to go up there?
No, you,
I am from Centerville United Methodist Church, and I would like to ask to be able to close Morton Avenue on August 27th from 9 until 11 for our church's bicentennial celebration. We're having a circuit rider ride up to the church and preach from the steps in front of the church, like it would have been done.
The whole block of South Morton?
Yes.
I don't know if it's almost
Half a block?
from 9 in the morning to 11 in the morning?
Yes.
What's the date on that again?
27th.
August 27th.
Dennis, because you got you already detoured.
nothing new, we'll find another way around.
It probably won't be that long, but
You're probably talking half a day.
at the most.
You said from 9 to 11,
9 to
correct?
11.
So 2 hours.
That's 2 hours. It probably will only
What time they
be
got
an
stuff set
hour,
up?
hour and 15 minutes, but we just want to cover it just in case.
Most we have in that time of day is, seems like campers and boaters and things like that. We don't have any more semi-traffic.
Sunday morning.
Would you agree on that, Dennis?
Yeah, like I said, it's Sunday morning, so.
And the good thing it's south of 40 because
Yeah.
of the 40 and 70 stuff.
Like all the people trying to get to church, so. So you can just
Yeah.
stop them and make them sit there.
Yeah, they can watch our church.
Yeah, there you go.
With the recommendation, I'll make a motion that we accept those terms, the 27th from 9 to 11.
Okay, got a motion by Jack. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second that.
I have a second by David. We call the roll, please.
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wonderson.
Aye. Motion carried. If you would, get with Ed and Dennis, Kate, if they need any coordination on that. Of course, Kevin, you need to bring up the barricades.
They'll already be out for Archway, at least.
Good question. There you go.
So,
You're all invited.
Okay. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item that we have, you should have in your packets the quotes for the appraisal on property that we've been looking at. We received three of them. One was a no bid, so we have three that bid. And we need to go ahead and move forward. And one of the bids was for $1,000. That was $500 for each property. One was for $2,650, and the other one was for $2,000.
Same detail?
Yes, we have to have two separate appraisals for government entities. So
we need to accept 2 of those then, is what you're saying?
we have to accept 2 of them. So, and your 2 lowest ones are 1,000 and 2,000. So. I would entertain a motion on accepting the 2 lowest.
I'd make that motion.
I got a motion by Gary to accept those 2 lowest appraisals bids.
I'll second that.
And I have a second by David. Will you call the roll on that, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wonderson.
Aye.
5 ayes.
And I will ask that, that you put those on resolution 2023-04, confirming so that we'll sign that. We'll have to put those on there. Yep, so we can go ahead and get those appraisals. Okay, next item we have is the PFAS retainer agreement. Go ahead, Kevin. You know more about than I do.
Well, we discussed this back in December, I believe, and it was sent to legal for review. Legal has reviewed it and feels we need to move forward with this. To refresh your memories, it's synthetic chemicals that have been leaching into the water supplies. And if there is any kind of suit or settlement, this would make us eligible to receive if we are so contaminated. At our last test, we are still clean at this time. And if there would be an unfunded mandate that comes down that says we have to set up and be ready to treat, then this might entitle us some funds to help us pull this up.
And I might add, I had a conversation with Ed Martin, the town attorney, and he highly suggests that we go ahead and enter into this, and along with that to allow me to sign. So I would entertain a motion on that.
And this is at no cost if we don't ever have to enter
No
this, correct?
cost if we do not use it.
And if we do use it,
If
their
we use
funds
it
are,
for a settlement, then there will be a fee
but that fee is taken directly out of
out of the
the
settlement.
disbursement to the
Yes.
community. Okay. I'll make that motion.
Okay, I've got a motion by Josh. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Jack. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wonderson.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Motion carried.
This is on the prior house grant. Right here. Dan. This is what I gave you earlier.
Yeah, next is the four-factor analysis for the fire department. That will go along with the grant which we have done before, and I need a motion to allow me to sign that.
So moved.
Okay, I've got a motion by Gary. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by David. We call the roll, please.
David Kate.
Aye.
Josh Tudor.
Aye.
Jack Bonneker.
Aye.
Gary Holbert.
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye. Motion carried. Next time we have the police department.
I don't have any of that.
You got anything else on the agenda?
The brackets for the lights for CYL, I've been notified, will hopefully be shipped from the manufacturer by the end of the week. And the 12 portable power units, we gave him permission to purchase at the last work session. They have been purchased, and it'll be a grand total of $6,424. I know I couldn't give you an exact price until we got the final bid in. We actually have them, they'll be on the ground here probably tomorrow.
What's an average lifespan? Expected, I should say.
Expected 10 to 20 years. Which it could be less than that depending upon how they're taken care of.
Usage.
We're just gonna set them out for short term.
Any warranties on those?
The
Usually
warranty will be
electrical-
expired by the time Archway
Yeah,
gets.
yeah, usually electrical ones towards the chores.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they were available, I jumped on, so we would have all the issues we're having with the electrical stuff. That's all I got, unless you got anything for me.
Building commissioner,
Our report, that's it.
are you doing the Archway days?
So, I passed out a flyer to you guys before we started. We're looking at trying to do a game night in the park on July 22nd. We're going to be showing the Super Mario Brothers. I talked to the girls in the office. They said that that date was available, and I just told to come to you guys to get final approval.
I would entertain a motion on approving this request for a movie in the park on July 22nd.
So moved.
I got a motion by Josh. Do I have a second?
Second with comment. These are really entertaining, really nice to get your families together. I went up and helped make some popcorn and stuff at one last year, and it's a real worthwhile thing to do. So bring your families out, have a good time.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Always like that. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate.
Aye.
Josh Tudor.
Aye.
Jack Bonneker.
Aye.
Gary Holbert.
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. The other item we got, we had a request from a local business wanting to use our bill, when we send out the bills as a part of a mass mailing. We did not set this up for that. It was set up, for nonprofit, stuff, and then obviously town stuff, but they made this request. We would have to change, the resolution that we had years ago on that. So wanted to bring that. We need to talk to legal, because, if we did this for one, we'd have to do it for all of them, and that,
And we never have, correct?
we never have. Only for nonprofits. So we'll put that on the work session, and then I'll get some more information on that. Street Department?
For those of you who don't know, the Community Crossing's second round will open July 3rd. I do plan on applying. From the numbers I received this afternoon, we're going to look at about a 25 to 27% increase in our cost this year, which is going to cut back what we do. I will try to have the final road worked out and ready to present at the work session.
Is the number still like the same, like if I remember right, it was like 75,000 and we paid 25, but now with the increase, we're gonna be picking up.
No, it's still a 75-25, but materials and labor have.
Means you're gonna get less done for the same amount of money.
Yes. Which I expected an increase. I wasn't really prepared for something of that size. I'll get that worked through. We did have a street sweeper come down and demo for us yesterday. It's the one that they demoed is just a newer version of what we already have, with a few added features. The one we have is one of the originals that they manufactured. So after 12 years, they've added some upgrades to it to make it a little better.
What's the name of the company that makes these?
Tycon is what we got.
With the T?
Yeah. I'm waiting on bids from Swayze on one as well. They haven't offered a demo, but Best was good enough to bring one down and demo it. I'm trying to get the other bid put together so I can present it to you. The one they demoed is going to come up for sale in August. If I get everything done in time, get the bids in for this lower bid demo model, I would like to go with.
Is there a ballpark on that?
$225,000.
Whoa! Lamborghini.
Richard, what did you think for?
You were sitting down, it was good.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I really did.
One of the upgrades is this one is all stainless steel. So we're not going to have a problem with it rusting out like we've got with the current.
The one now rusted out pretty bad.
I mean, the hopper has nothing left but all patches to it. And I believe that's all I got, unless you have anything for me.
Have they ever thought about putting liners in them? Is that feasible?
A company has tried a liner with the abrasive debris that comes up. It just needs through the line.
What is it that they spray on, like an undercoating sometimes on vehicles?
Yeah, but all the
Yeah.
rocks.
We're talking about the inside.
Yeah, I'm talking about the whole thing.
Like a
You're
bed
talking about
liner?
that 225,000.
Yeah.
Z-Barn or something.
I got an idea. We can give you a 55-gallon drum and a broom.
Well, that's how they used to do it for $225,000. I was thinking maybe rent it out and go sweep Cambridge or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry about that.
I was just wondering.
They tried it, it just didn't.
If I had to guess, if you shot line X in that, you'd probably void your warranty and all your everything else anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else on the street? Water and fire?
Don't go nowhere.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, you each have a copy of our annual drinking water quality report, which will be going out with the bills this month. It will be posted online as well as posted. Already posted online and posted here. So that'll be taken care of for the year. We did repair a main leak in Winding Brook on the 18th. We repaired the service line last week. And we're still looking for a leak.
pretty good size leak.
Well, about 7,000 a day. We're still doing some potholing and testing in the storm drains and testing the sewer. So we've got to find it sooner or later. The cavity will open sometime. And the deadline to apply for the Indiana Finance Authority lead service inventory was last Friday. So, gentlemen, you have applied. I believe it's $15,000. And that'll go towards the $55,000 Lockmuir will be incurring for us in doing the inventory.
And we've already approved that cost, correct?
Correct.
This has all been approved. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know we did follow through.
We saved 15,000 or whatever.
We've applied to say
We made it.
15,000.
I'm trying to make it as cheap as I can.
When will we know approval on that?
The Indiana Finance Authority, probably a month or so. Depending on how many applications they get, what they have to do. We met all the qualifications with the meetings we've been attending.
One nice thing is, we're ahead of the curve here because that is mandated by the, by the state. You don't really have a choice. So we're being proactive again in getting this taken care of now.
October 24 is the deadline to have it submitted. Once we get that submitted, then we'll start working up the plan for the replace. There's funding available for that. I think that's all I got underwater, unless you have anything for me.
Fire department, Dennis?
Try this again. I think the only thing I got is, as we note in here, our air conditioner went out a week and a half ago. The outside unit was replaced 4 years ago, so I called Dick Hill because they replaced it, hoping it would be under warranty. And of course, it's not the outside unit, it's the inside unit, which is not under warranty. So I talked to Jack, we got a quote to get it fixed. Talked to the service guys, they said probably a couple days on parts, so we ordered it. A nice young lady called from over there and said parts will be here in 5 weeks. So maybe the snow will be fine time we get it going, but that's all right.
It's been cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. We leave the doors open, so.
Our biggest concern was, he said his computers were overheating. So
Yeah, the first night it was down, our server shut off because it overheated. So we removed a few ceiling tiles and keep a fan running in that office to keep it cooled down. So it's working right now. So I think that's it.
Excuse me, what was the repair cost on that?
It was around $4,000.
$4,100.
Yeah, the coils are bad. They are a 1-year warranty item. And then there was some kind of a switch assembly in there, and both of them were right at $2,000 a piece.
Okay.
So, and then it was like $106 for labor and check it.
Service call and say that's what we're
I think that's all I got. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and he had a good suggestion over here, Josh. He was talking about portable wares, and I've got one that I even actually said, hey, we can put in that computer room. I'd be more than welcome to let him use it. Problem is I don't have an exhaust for that. It's one of the ones that exhaust out the wall or somewhere in the ceiling, so we might still look into that. If it's some kind of problem, I can move that over there.
Well, they make them, the exhaust tube or the draw tube just goes in a window.
That's
They-
where,
they
that's
do a
what
pretty
I've
good
got,
job.
but we have no access for that
Win-
yet.
Windows don't open.
So, and you know, we might still look into that, and we bought
Yeah.
that big cooling unit.
Yeah, we do have that.
So if
The
we
one
need
that
to, we
bought
can
for
maybe
the
like put that
meetings.
by the doors or by the bay or
Yeah,
something.
we'll probably try it tomorrow. Let's see, yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Because Reed has their monthly meeting tomorrow night, so we'll probably have them
You won't
set,
be there though, right?
set it up. No, there's 8 of us that are leaving to go to Muncie tomorrow for the convention for the rest of the week. We are hosting it, so that's why the larger number than normal are going to go. So that we'll be back Saturday morning.
And if need be, have you talked to others local or if we need?
Yeah, we've already, they all know that we're gonna be a little shorthanded, so they're all ready to cover for us.
Anything else?
Not unless anybody on the council's got any questions?
Wastewater, stormwater?
So I think I got going good.
Good.
You good, Gary?
Good.
Electric?
You all should have a copy of the IMPA halftime report to review and look over. They're still working on the 4K changeover. They were in last week and done some aerial surveying to find out, get us a closer number on what we need to get that completed. I'm glad to say the only power outages we had were scheduled maintenance outages. The last storm it did flicker, but that was just a relay on Duke's end. No more than 10 seconds like that before they come back on, so I don't consider that an outage. Your report will show how many poles IMPA's replaced. We're replacing street lights as we can. We did get another partial shipment in, so just wait to get the full shipment in and we'll be back at that. Basically all I have, unless you have anything for me.
What's the, I know we were waiting on those transformers, but when we did this a while ago, we were looking at a pretty long back order supply chain issue. Have they given us an approximate time for that, or is that just a, we'll get them to you when you get them type of thing?
Basically, we'll get them when we get them. The school transformer is on the ground at IMPA. When they're ready, we can set that in. But with the backlog, and to be honest with you, up to Antique Mall, it's still on the radar. But we've had a discussion about maybe leaving one setting on the ground in case of an emergency within the IMPA group. So we're going to go that route, and once it frees up a little more, then we will go back and get a cost, which right now I hope we don't want a cost on those transformers up there. It will happen. And maybe one other thing we ought to look at, Baker Tilly was in here to make a presentation. I feel we seriously need to look at using those credits to possibly help with phase 1 and then maybe roll them directly into phase 2 and 3.
By using that, if we are able to get that, because we got 4 phases total, so you're, us, we're looking at that we would have 2 of those, because it's 50/50, paid for out of that, and then we actually would be out only 2 instead of 4 as a total package. But I would need a motion on that Inflation Reduction Act.
So moved.
Got a motion by Gary to go ahead with that with Baker Tilly. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Josh. Will you call the roll, please?
David Kate,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Bonneker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wonderson.
Aye.
I got a question though.
Motion carried. Yeah.
The 3 transformers down at Warm Glow, are they in use, all three of them?
Yes.
On water? Okay.
Down there at the factory, yes.
Okay.
We changed the metering out on it, so it was on the outside and made it safer.
Does anybody go in the cage up here at Warm Glow?
At Warm Glow?
Yeah.
Memphis is the only ones doing
Okay.
it.
I worry about those.
No, it's a little too hot for us.
I
It's
worry,
kind of like your station out here.
I worry about those with all the kids trafficking back and forth through there.
To date, no, we've had nobody get it.
Good.
That's one of the reasons we want to put the new pad.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah.
In your package you have for the Ames conference, which will be August 22nd through the 24th at French Lick. And I really, if you can go, I highly suggest, because the education that you will get out of that is well worth it. And I know that Kevin, Richard, and myself are planning on, would like to go. And if any of you would like to go, we have to have stuff in by the 20th of this month.
Friday would be great.
So,
This Friday would be great.
yeah.
Because we have to be on the phone at 10 o'clock to get the...
They still have rooms available?
Well, you won't know till the 20th. That's when they open
That's
up.
when they open up, or so we say.
So we staying the night of the 22nd, 23rd?
Actually, you want to make sure you're there for the early bird session, so.
Because they're very good. They have, these are all training classes. And like I said, they're very good, and very informative.
But 3 days, 2 nights.
Yep, roughly, or 3, depends on how you want to go. What I need is a motion to allow anyone on the council, Richard and Kevin, to attend this conference.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Jack. Do I have a second?
I'll second
I
it.
have a second by Gary. Will you call the roll, please?
David Cates,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Broniker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Motion carried. If you do want to go, and like I said, I highly suggest if you can, even if you can make it one day, they have, it's worth it. Good. But make sure you get with Richard before the 20th and let him know, because they book up quick. I think the largest one I seen was last year when I went, so off of that. You got anything else?
No.
Let me make these announcements. The CYL parade and fireworks will be on June the 17th, which is this Saturday, but the parade is going to be at 8:30 a.m. and then fireworks would be at dusk. Then also the executive session that is scheduled for tomorrow, June the 14th, that will be at 5:30 to discuss personnel. Then also a council meeting work session will be June the 28th, 2023 at 7 p.m. here in the council room. There is a planning commission meeting June 22nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. here in the council room. With that, I would entertain a motion to close the Centerville Town Council meeting for June the 13th.
So moved.
Got a motion by Josh. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by Dave. Will you call the roll, please?
David Cates,
Aye.
Josh Tudor,
Aye.
Jack Broniker,
Aye.
Gary Holbert,
Aye.
Dan Wondersen.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Motion carried, and it is 8 o'clock.